Welcome to this edition of the Mayor's Report for Pleasanton. I'm your host, Splen Splendorio. Joining me today is Mayor Jack Balch, where, of course, from the beautiful city of Pleasanton. Welcome.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Excited to be here today.
Thanks, Jack. Hey, let's start off. I'm sure you got some topics you'd like to share with our viewers.
Yeah, I definitely. And for the top of the show, I wanted to start off with we still are aware of our residents facing PG&E reliability challenges. So first and foremost for Mayor's Choices, I just wanted to highlight that PG&E is going to be having a virtual town hall meeting. It's going to be on September 10th. It's online. You can go to the city's website. We're linking to it, so you can get the link. It's a Zoom or Google Meet. So it's all virtual, but it's going to be where they're going to be talking about their investment plans for Alameda County, Contra Costa County. That's just the geographical region they manage. But specifically, we've made sure some Pleasanton elements are going to be on that to notify our residents. So that I just wanted to highlight top of mind. And then other things to round out Mayor's Choice is two really cool things. The first is we had the Scottish Games in town, as we were talking about. 159th Scottish Games, one of the longest running, I think, in the country was what I recall from the remarks. But they've been in Pleasanton a long time. Next year is actually going to be just fabulous for 26 because they will be returning to the fair, 160th overall in their run, but the 30th at Pleasanton's fairgrounds. And so, that just helps the economic vitality, eat and dine at there, have a meat pie for lunch, and then enjoy a restaurant in town, hopefully for dinner as you go home. And then my third one to bring up is actually just good feel-good one, which is Access Community Health has done the ribbon cutting on their Livermore Clinic. That officially kicked off on August 21st. And that's just, just thinking about providing services for those in need who couldn't afford it otherwise. So that clinic has been up and running, trying to get the bugs out beforehand, but they've had their official ribbon cutting. And, Access Community Health is just such integral to the fabric of the entire Tri-Valley. So really nice one to round out.
All right, great. Thanks, Jack.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about the retirement of Chief Testa, who was the fire chief for Livermore Pleasanton Fire Department for many years. He's retiring.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about some of the accomplishments of Chief Testa, and then we'll talk a little bit about his successor.
Yeah, so thank you very much for the opportunity. So Fire Chief Joe Testa, no relation to Councilmember Testa, joined LPFD in 1996. I didn't know that, as a firefighter paramedic. So that's entry level one in the firefighter ranks, and he served in every rank all the way up to chief. So that's a pretty impressive career. 29 years with us. They've given me a bunch of things he's accomplished, probably more than the time allows for the entire show. But one of the main things that he's really helped guide us with more recently is our EMS response, which is really handled by the county through, right now, Falk. Everyone probably knows that. But the Tri-Valley is experiencing extended wait times, both for arrival of that ambulance or getting you into the hospital and into further care. And so the fire department plays an essential role with that and has been really trying to guide through to minimize those wait times for residents in need. He's done social media, he's done bi-monthly chief chats and videos and branding, but he's also helped with our strategic plan, our response times, and then as I just round out, he's traveled the world and is actually an extremely, in my opinion, accomplished hiker, backpacker. Colombia, South America, and many areas of the world. So I think he's got some plans to do that while able-bodied. So we really do wish him the best on his success, or next chapter, I guess I'll say. And then we're bringing in interim fire chief Aaron Lacey, who's a Pleasanton resident. He served as interim fire chief in 2021 before Chief Testa was actually given the role. So Lacey is super integral to the fabric as well. He's been a baseball coach. He's been, until his son's aged out, in our own Pleasanton Little League. So I'm really excited to see what he'll do with the department as an interim role, and as we look to fill that completely and finish it out. So we're in good hands, and he'll keep on with some of those initiatives that Chief Testa did, and look to enhance the department overall.
And was Interim Chief Lacey also part of the fire department during
Yeah.
Chief Testa's tenure?
Yeah, he's been, they did tell me, 20 years Chief Lacey's been there as well. So they've overlapped quite a while. And he's been, he's been a active interim chief, as we've mentioned, but he's also been a battalion chief and assistant fire chief as well for many years. So we're looking forward to that, see how he does.
So nothing gets lost in the transition.
Nothing gets lost in the transition. And I should mention, maybe to help round this out, is that the LPFD firefighters and battalion chiefs, which are two unions that we as the city deal with and manage, they have both signed brand new contracts, brand new 3-year contracts, and that provides a very strong foundation to build on. I know many in Pleasanton are worried about or concerned about overtime. A new firefighter is unfortunately probably 30% more than the overtime cost, but then when you factor in the workers' comp and some of these other costs, it gets a little dicey real quick. So any new chief is going to have to be dealing with that, and we need experience, and Chief Lacey brings that to bear.
All right, Jack, thank you so much for telling us about Chief Testa and Chief Lacey. Let's talk a little bit about the budget. I know in the past we've talked a lot about it. Some new topics recently,
Yep.
In essence, searching for alternative sources of funding, we might call it. Why are we having a discussion, and what kind of sources are you looking at?
Yeah, thank you for the question. Pleasanton probably is very well aware, your viewers are probably pretty aware, we're going to be discussing the budget probably the entire time of my service as mayor and into the future. In short, our residents are probably very aware that rising costs are present. We have rising labor costs, we have rising cost of living costs, and our revenues have not kept pace with that. Principally from, and it's becoming very apparent, principally from the COVID experience, right? COVID really altered how cities receive revenue or the models for us to work with. So, the city of Pleasanton has property tax, and we have sales tax, and then we have other fees and services. And one of those others is hotel tax. So what we've been trying to do, we've got a balanced 2-year budget, and that budget had some cost constraints in it when the sales tax on the November 24 ballot failed to get the majority to pass. And I think what we're trying to do is look at how we can revenue enhance through streamlining. We just passed the innovation-based businesses and the zoning to reduce some of the burdens that are on particular applicants. And we're looking at what else we can do for revenue enhancement with the city. We've seen some headwinds with some closures of some businesses, both on Main Street and out on Santa Rita, we know. But, we're trying to get the core functions working. In the meantime, though, we are looking for where the residents could possibly be supportive of additional revenue sources via a tax. And as a result of that, there wasn't a consensus as to whether to go out and spend more money to ask for a survey at this time or polling. We couldn't reach consensus on that, but we did as a council reach consensus on looking at a hotel tax. And where we're going with this is we need to work with our Tri-Valley partners, Visit Tri-Valley, as well as Livermore and Dublin. All of the cities are at 8% right now. So Pleasanton's going to be looking at, 11%, 10%, 12%. I don't know this number, but where is a sustainable number that, still provides vitality, still provides a glide path for vitality, but at the same time can provide some additional revenue. I think that we're also looking at and our residents probably know, like I said, we're also looking at, what services we provide, what services are expected, and is there a better, more efficient way to do them and provide them, right? So continuing to be very forward-focused on, expenses, forward-focused on streamlining, permitting, and processing to reduce, as I've said many times, time, talent, and money. You can reduce the time it takes to get a permit, the cost to get a permit, and we know talent in this area is abundant, and we're just trying to tap into that and make it more available for people. We're a commuter city, but we've also got some extreme good brain pans in town. And then the third is, yes, what is our populace going to be willing to support? So hotel tax, when it's paid for by visitors, I don't look at it too much myself when I travel, although I take that back. I just went to Las Vegas, and when I got the hotel fee and I got the taxes together, they were almost more than the cheapy room that I got. So maybe I did look at it a little bit. So, we have to have the conversation, and I think residents understand that,
Okay, so there'll be further discussion about this.
Yeah, and with our Tri-Valley partners, right? Yeah, Livermore, Dublin, and Visit Tri-Valley.
Great, all right.
Yeah.
Jack, I want to start in on a very important topic, and that's mental health services that are available for residents of Pleasanton. So we're going to take, we only have about a minute, but let's get started on, first of all, what kind of services are available if somebody needs mental health services?
Yeah, I think it's really important for residents to know and viewers to know that we're always looking for ways to provide this. If you go back many years, there were no services at all, none to speak of. So your police department became your de facto mental health provider, right? And so for the city of Pleasanton, we're really proud of our police department alternative mental health unit. It is an officer paired with a clinician. The officer is in plain clothes or less than the formal clothes you might see an officer in or uniform. And they are out about trying to divert people from incarceration, to de-escalate, to be there, and at least when they show up, the clinician is obviously highly trained. The officers are now receiving training. And so we're really, when we're showing up, we're trying to have them show up first. We're trying to have them be able to de-escalate immediately. And just, as we've heard, calmer heads prevail. But when someone's in crisis, that we need to be extra calm because they are not able to calm down, right?
All right, Jack, let's hold that thought. Let's talk a little bit more detail, but we're going to take a short break. We'll be right back on this edition of the Mayor's Report for Pleasanton. Welcome back to this edition of the Mayor's Report for Pleasanton. We are here talking with Mayor Jack Balch from Pleasanton. Thank you, Jack.
Thank you.
Welcome back. Well, we were talking a little bit about some mental health services available for Pleasanton residents. Let's get a little detail.
Yeah.
Talk about the services, service providers, what's available, how people contact them, and then I want to spend some time really talking about services available for teens.
Yeah, great question, and obviously an extremely relevant and important topic. So we'll go with treatment providers maybe first. So the city of Pleasanton partners with many, and they're all through different groups trying to get different ways to get help or in need. So the first one we've got is Horizon Treatment Services has a diversion triage center. It opened in August of 25. This is the county-backed diversion triage center. It offers an alternative to jail for adults undergoing mental health or substance abuse. For Pleasanton more specifically, we've partnered, and again, kind of mentioning earlier at the top of the hour, Access Community Health. They've got Access Bridge, and the Access Bridge program provides behavioral health services, including mental health counseling. It's open to all ages. It's free of charge. The only challenge with it is Monday through Friday during the hours, right? And so that's where the police department's alternative mental health unit with a clinician can also support, although hours are always challenging. It's difficult to have 24-hour service available. But Access Bridge, you can go to their website, accesshealth.org, and it's right there for accessing that. And then our residents probably know about CityServe of the Tri-Valley. They provide an abundant amount of services for us. Hively, Goodness Village, Abode, and Open Heart Kitchen. And the reason I'll stay with CityServe is at our Pleasanton Senior Center. That is where their physical office location, their remote or branch location is at. So there's a physical location you can go to get services from them or to start the process. But the additional thing is that they are online and they have a phone number there. They didn't provide that to me here, but that's definitely there. And then Open Our Kitchen is principally more out of Livermore, but they're more for meals and those in need and crisis, more for having those challenges of unhoused. When we get to teens, as you asked, the Pleasanton Unified School District is essential for this, right? Your teacher, your counselor, your assistant principal, your principal, but they have partnered with Daybreak Health, which is, I was reading a bit more about it, a school-based mental health company to provide therapy for students. It's, they're working to make it as confidential as possible. Obviously, when you're dealing with underage individuals, parents and guardians are always present in some regard. But they did give me a name and phone number, email. You can reach the care coordinator for Daybreak Health, this is for our teens, at carecoordinator@daybreakhealth.com or by calling 415-992-6155. And then lastly, I'll round out with NAMI, Tri-Valley Crisis Services and County Resources. NAMI provides the Tri-Valley with a helpline, support groups. They just had an event with the 3 chiefs from the Tri-Valley, and they're available at namitrivalley.org.
Right.
So,
thank you very much, Chuck. Yeah, NAMI we've talked about in the past. Yep, thank you. All right, now let's talk about another group that I think most of us in the Tri-Valley are very proud of, and that's Tri-Valley Reach. First, tell us, what is Tri-Valley Reach?
Yeah, this is one near and dear to my heart as well. Tri-Valley Reach provides affordable housing for adults and with intellectual or developmentally delayed or disabilities, IDD, and basically enables them to live independently. I think that's every parent's dream, is to be able to have that for our children. The other thing that I think many of us are really proud of is that it's an all-volunteer board, and it's a working board. I mean, these individuals put in a ton of time and talent to make this happen. But they basically work to cobble together funding from a mix of bank loans, city support, deferred mortgages. I didn't realize, but yeah, county funding on Measure A1, and they cobble that together, and they will go buy a below market rate unit or an ADU, or they'll work with a developer to acquire that in new projects or new construction. In fact, just recently, maybe it was a year or two ago, I know that TV30 did a whole segment when they opened up the ADU behind one of the homes they had bought years ago. Under the new state laws, they were able to have an ADU closer. So now you've got not only the primary home, but you've got the ADU on site, and then that allows services to be there and provide for more in need. I will mention, and I'll be attending if you want to know, but the Tri-Valley Reach is hosting their annual fundraiser. It is September 10th, 2025. I hope it will go before this program. I don't want to date the program. It's Havana Nights. It starts at 6 p.m. and it'll be in Livermore at McGrail Vineyards. People can buy tickets or make a donation anytime at trivalleyreach.org. There's no dash there. It's trivalleyreach.org. And you know, we're very proud of them having units in Pleasanton as well as Livermore, and they're looking to expand it as we go forward.
Right. No, thank you for mentioning that. Yeah, and I think some people might not understand that some of these are just homes, plain old single-family residence homes in your neighborhood that become homes for these developmentally disabled or delayed adults that they live independently.
Yeah.
And they obviously don't necessarily drive much, but they have services provided, and they're in your community. You'll see them working at grocery stores and other places. They're there, and they're a great part of the community.
Yeah, and you know, they just one of the things that you'll notice is maybe they have an extra ramp or something, but they're basically ubiquitous with the neighborhood and fit in well.
Right. Thank you so much, Jack.
Yeah.
Talk about Reed. All right, now let's go back in time. Really go back in time. There's some goings on regarding Pioneer Cemetery. First, maybe people don't realize where Pioneer Cemetery is. Maybe fill them in.
Yeah. So the Pioneer Cemetery was the Oddfellows Cemetery back in the day. It's located on the south part of town, of Snow Boulevard, similar or close to the Rayleighs or the, the mental health clinic that's nearby, or the Augustine Catholic Cemetery, which is right next door. So people sometimes confuse them between the St. Augustine Cemetery and the Pioneer Cemetery, but it's maybe another locational guidance is it's across from Thermo Fisher.
Yeah.
So south side of town. And so maybe some brief history is that in 2007, the city acquired it for $1. Best land acquisition deal possibly, but with that became a lot of obligatory maintenance and other things that the city's been trying to work through for some time. Yeah.
All right, so there's some issues that
Yeah.
recently popped up. What's going on with the cemetery?
Yeah, so a couple of things I'll maybe start off by mentioning. So when the city acquired it, we've gone through a lot of planning, and a lot of amazing groups have put a lot of time, talent, and money to invest and make it a better, more enjoyable location. The vets have an amazing monuments, remembrance up there for all of the military branches. It's a gorgeous place to come and just remember our history. We have a lot of founders there. We have a lot of really significant individuals who have been buried there. So a lot of work came into figuring out where people are buried, where are opportunities to continue to hold burials, and then we input, or people probably know, we put in a wall, which is allowing for vertical remembrances, right? The challenge is becoming that many of us are choosing cremation instead of burial. And as a result of approximately 72% of Pleasanton residents now preferring cremation, the economics of the cemetery have been changing probably for some time. But in light of the budget challenges the city of Pleasanton's had, we've been using general fund money to subsidize the operations of the cemetery. The cemetery doesn't make enough money to keep itself going. And so, in short, a consultant was brought in who specializes in this. We don't have the economies of scale for the number of burials that occur per year. So when you do smaller volume, the cost per burial is extremely expensive. Whereas if you were doing, several a day at a larger cemetery, then it makes sense to have a full-time staff or some of those types of challenges or mitigated out. That's kind of a lot of the background and kind of how we got here. So what we've chosen to do at this time is to pause casket sales. So if you'd like to be buried at the cemetery right now, those sales are on pause. However, if you've already acquired a cemetery plot and paid for the burial under contract, and there are several of those still out there in our world, those will still be honored. Those are contractual relationships. The city of Pleasanton has that spot, that plot available. It's all known. But before we start to sell more, we need to understand our liability we're accepting each time we sell. Because it basically came out that each time we sold a casket plot, we ended up losing money each burial, right? And that's just not sustainable. We may choose to do that under healthier fiscal times, but at least right now for a year, the city has, I think it's been a year, the city is basically pausing those. And what we're going to be doing is looking at how we can streamline operations out there. We had 3 vendors, one providing flowers, one providing landscape, one providing the actual burial. And so how do we kind of streamline operations, make it sustainable, and frankly, and I think the council was very unanimous in this, not abandon it to be one of these cemeteries. You just see abandoned cemeteries and you can just imagine them in the Wild West, to not have that happen. It's got to be a place of reverence. I think a lot of our residents expect that. So how do we do that is the new question.
All right, Jack, we only have a few seconds left, but I want you to highlight some upcoming city events.
Yeah, so thank you. I'm a little long-winded today. Only have a few city events to highlight to round us out. The Diwali celebration, which is pretty impressive, is going to be at the Pleasanton Senior Center on October 18th from 1 to 3 p.m. Also, I'll mention the 9th annual Floating Pumpkin Patch is going to occur at the Dolores Bankson Park on October 25th from from noon to 2 p.m. at the Dolores Bankson. I've seen photos of it. I've never made it, but you enjoy games, the pumpkin decorating, pumpkin splash, and all of that. Costumes are encouraged. And you can just tell this. We're getting here for autumn and fall. We're right there, and one of my favorite times of year.
So thank you so much, Jack. Thank you for being here, and thank you for watching this edition of the Mayor's Report for Pleasanton. Join us for the next episode of the Mayor's Report right here on Tri-Valley TV. I'm Splendorio. Thank you so much for joining us.